Hey guys, this is Dr. Joe Borio with this week's Thought Flash. Hope you guys had a great week. I'll tell you, we were down in Orlando, Florida, and for our Chiropassion event, it was outstanding. It was fantastic. We had a group of chiropractors that were principle-based, that were looking to really get totally focused on what chiropractic is, both in its philosophy, its art, its science. We had a great speaker there, Dr. Tom Colton, who's a functional neurologist. So he's talking about chiropractic, he's talking about the neurology, he's talking about neural pathways, he's talking about the Harvey Lillard story and how you can explain that scientifically, with scientific certainty and scientific fact, which gives us greater degree of certainty. So we coupled that with a lot of philosophy and a lot of practice management, basically how to run your office, how to make it successful. So sorry that you guys weren't there, but I do have good news. We've got our next event coming up in the third week of January, and that's going to be in Las Vegas. So what happens in Vegas, hopefully in this case, doesn't stay in Vegas. Hopefully you'll take it back home and put it in practice with the people you serve in your own practice. But that being said, I wanted to read out of Rob Sinnott's book. This was a gift from Billy DeMoss. Billy DeMoss, a friend of mine, certainly, and a nice little inscription there inside the book. A good man, Dr. Bill. For those of you who don't know that, Billy DeMoss runs CalJam. So just go to caljam.org. Sign up for it. It's in February. It's going to be a phenomenal event. It was last year. I'll be speaking there Friday night. So I'm sure that'll be worth going just for that. But in any case, what did I want to talk about today? I want to talk a little bit about, not a little bit, a lot about philosophy, and then couple that with some practice management. There's a great quote in this book that Sinnott brings to our attention, certainly, and it's by Francis Bowen. He was actually the chair of philosophy for Harvard University, and I looked him up on Wikipedia. I wanted to see who the heck this guy was and get an idea of really what character this guy had. You know, where did he come from? And so interesting guy to read about. I certainly encourage you to do the same thing. But he has a great quote in here that is on chapter 17, Characteristics of Innate Intelligence. And this is his quote: "Man is not an organism. He is an intelligence served by organs." I mean, I get goosebumps when I say that. I have read that 1,000 times, and every time I say it to myself, every time I read the words, I love that. I love that because I've given you guys that 30-second drill, how to explain chiropractic in 30 seconds. You know, what is this? What organ's this? And you guys got to remember, you got to ask people. You can't lecture to them. Okay, so a great piece of advice that I can tell you that I've discovered in my journey is the more I talk, the more I lecture to people, the more I tell them what to do or what we do or what they should do, the less engagement I have with them, the less likely they are to follow through. But if you ask them questions and they themselves derive or deduce to the answer, you'll find that they'll be much more compliant because they themselves will start to own the principle of chiropractic. So, 30-second drill. What organ's this? They're going to say your brain. And what's in here? What's your chest and body filled with right here? Your organs. Well, how do the organs know what to do? Well, your brain tells them what to do. Well, how does your brain tell them what to do? Through the nervous system. What does your brain send through the nerves? Signals, data, information, exactly. So if you press on the nerves, like your arm, if you press on the nerves and that's your liver, your lung, your kidney on the end here, what's going to happen to that organ? Well, it's going to get sick. Exactly. Let's say 20, 30 years goes by. What's going to happen? Well, it's going to get sick, diseased. It's going to get ill. It's going to die. Exactly. Which means what's going to happen to you? Well, I'm certainly not going to function really well. Do you want to have sick organs? Well, hell no. I don't want to have organs at all. So what do we need to do as a chiropractic profession? As your chiropractor, what do you want me to do? Well, you want me to relieve the pressure, right? What's it called when I relieve the pressure? An adjustment. What is the adjustment actually doing? Well, it's taking the bone or the pressure off the nerve, allowing the signals or data to go. So what's going to happen to the organ? It's going to work better, which means what happens to you? You're going to work better, exactly. And then how long do we need to continue to do that? What do we need once we correct the spine? How long do we need to take care of it? For the rest of your life. Bam. You can add to that a little bit more. Well, Linda, listen, you're one of 5 that come in your family. Who would benefit from care? Well, everyone. Well, what can I do? Tell me what I can do to help you get the kids in. So let's get the rest of the family in and get them checked. What do you say? That's playing. That's playing, and that's getting them to come up with the answer. And I can tell you 30% of the people that we talk about that little drill with, they bring their family in on the re-exams. How is it that you see hundreds and hundreds of people in a day? Well, I'll tell you what. Don't be pandering to the people. Be a leader. Lead them with principle. And it's not confrontational. I have a lot of guys that say, geez, Doc, I don't like to be confrontational. Don't be confrontational. Pretend it's a friend of yours doing something that's not healthy for them. And you want to go in and talk to them. Hey, Bob, listen, I heard smoking's really bad for you. I read some more research on it. And it's number one cause of a lung disease in the country. It makes you sick. It can make your offspring sick. I love you. I care about you. I don't want to see you get sick anymore. Tell me what I can do to help you so we can get off these cigarettes. I'm here to help you. So as a chiropractor, listen, subluxation, I read more and more science on how sick they are. They can make you and how much more disease and illness they can cause in your body. And as a result, man, I love you. I care about you. I don't want to see you and your family have these subluxations, this loss of nerve supply to the body. Tell me what I can do to help you so you can get the care you need and so your family get the care you need. Worst thing that's going to happen is they're going to say no. And if they say no, then you know what? You chuck it up. And you say, okay, well, listen, it's so important. I just want you to know, don't be mad at me, but I'm going to talk to you about it again. And next time you talk to them about it again, and eventually they're going to say yes, they're going to tell you to quit, ask them. And can you live with both of those? I can live with both of those. So why can't you? I guess what I want to close with, guys, here in the last minute and a half or so is that you have to lead people to the principle. I think right now, more and more of the practices across this country, and more docs that I talk to are struggling because they got hung up in the juice of insurance. The never-ending supply of cash. And you didn't have to be principled years ago to have a successful practice. You could just tell people, look, you need to come in 80 times. Okay. And, they didn't value it. And unfortunately, not to be hard on anyone, but I don't think you, as the chiropractor, in those cases, valued it. So you don't value it, they don't value it. All of a sudden, they got to pay for it. You struggle with them having to pay for it. It's not only they struggle with it, but you struggle with it. So, a real good check on the meter is that if you're struggling with them paying for it, chances are it's not the patient that's the problem. It's you. And you need to get right with the value of what it is you do as a chiropractor. So, like I talked about the journal that I write for, like I talk about at my events and my seminars, start reading some of these books. These are some books that are, right near my bedside here. And, this is Palmer's Law of Life, okay? This is Life Without Fear. I read about successful men, Napoleon Hill's Law of Success. I'm reading Sentence book again, for the third time. These guys are all alive, if you will, in the living word of what they've written. Start reading about them and start really getting principle. And what you'll start to do is have a deeper understanding and a deeper value of what it is you do, what you offer as a chiropractor. Einstein said, rather than be a man of success, choose to be a man of service and a woman of service. So that would be my, closing statement for you guys. Choose to be a person of service rather than one of success. And if you choose to be a person of service, success will come. It'll automatically be a byproduct of your service. And that success, maybe it is a lot of money. It might not be a lot of money. But I bet you the reward, if you will, that payment of success will be far greater than anything you can imagine. I know it has been for me. Guys, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you joining us on our Thought Flashes. Be sure to share these with other people across the country. Whether you're a client or not, we'd certainly love to have every chiropractor, the 60,000 chiropractors across this country, listening to our Thought Flashes. And maybe we can help out some of our lost brethren there that have kind of fallen by the wayside out of their fear, loss of certainty, or confidence. Listen, tune in next week. Have a great week. Make sure you go to our website, chiropracticconsulting.com. Make sure you register for Las Vegas. It's probably going to be our biggest event ever, and we'd love to have you. This has been Dr. Joe Borio with this week's Thought Flash. Get out and serve the people. Remember, may your innate flow from above down. Have a great week, guys.
My best friend gave me the best.